Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. It is Friday, January 9th, and let's see what the market looks like. It doesn't look bad, actually, as we're bracing for the Supreme Court tariff decision today. And we have a little jobs data coming out, but I would say that Supreme Court tariff decision is pretty big. All information presented here is for educational and information purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? Here we go. Let's rock and roll. Go right through the market, see what's going on. I still don't see my Jolie's jumpers. I'm definitely concerned about Asian Jolie, that's for sure. Hope everything's okay with her, and hopefully she reaches back out. And let's see, we'll just go through and see what's going on with our top gainers. Definitely odd without our Jolie's jumpers, but here's OPAD right here. That thing's running up, OPAD. You can check that bad boy out right there. Look at that thing running up there. Not so sure it's going to continue to run, but it ran up this morning. So did Icon. And that CETX, we were talking about this last night. As a matter of fact, I had it on the night note, and there you go. It was running up already last night. You can take a look at it right here. We'll see what it did this morning. I know it did spike up. I saw it early, but it did come right back down. So that's what you expect with these guys in the morning. They run up fast and then they come right back down. SXTC, look at that big spike up. Holy cow. That was a fast one right there. From 150s to 7. Holy cow. And there's our LDI jumping up when we were talking about that last night as well. Here's OKLO, OKLO. I've been telling you guys that thing looked good. And there you go, ripping along right there. SMR, another one. Nuclear, I said, was looking good. And Tilray, not too bad yesterday. They had some earnings yesterday. So there you go. Open Door was looking pretty decent yesterday. We'll take a quick look at that one right here. And then we'll run right through and see what the market looks like. Here's Open Door. It's bumped up there. And again, the housing sector is going to look pretty good today. YYAI, that's finally trying to roll right there. UAVS has been running, and that's hitting a little resistance. So just be careful. Light Bridge right there is getting set up. And let's see what else. So there you go with a couple jumpers right there this morning. And let's see what is going on with the rest of the market. Let's take a quick look at crypto. Bitcoin's up 90,000. And let's see where it's at the 20. If it's going to bounce off of there, we expect it to. And you can see it's hitting the 20. It keeps bouncing up, and it's getting set up to roll off that MACD is what it looks like. Ethereum down a little bit this morning, but the same situation. Just getting ready to make that roll right back up, and then we're going to continue up. It's going to make that bullish channel. Solana actually trying to rip up there last night. It has a little lull this morning, but still doesn't look bad to try to break free and Ripple a little bit of pullback, not even back to the 20 right there. And then your Doge right here pulling back. So the rest of them are following suit. And they all look very similar, but we'll be watching Bitcoin to bounce off of this 20 to get rolling off over the weekend right here and then get cruising right back up for next week. So that's what we're looking at right there. And let's go ahead, take a look and see what our SPY Mag 7s and the indices are up to. SPY right here is up almost $1, looking good this morning. And it does look like it wants to run up there. And again, it can run up this morning, and then we get the Supreme Court results in the market. We have no idea what's going to happen. We did play out the what the scenarios could be last night through ChatGPT, but that was the best that we did last night looking at that. So we'll see what happens with the market with this whole tariff decision thing today. It is an interesting one. Interesting Friday right here. Your Qs are way up, looking pretty good. They did bounce off that 20 yesterday, and they do look, I mean, the market looks strong. So we'll have to see how it wants to react to this bad boy. And then your IWM was ripping along yesterday. It's still up today. It still looks good right there, so you can keep an eye on that. And let's go ahead and look at the Apple right here. I think is getting that bottom, so I think Apple could be a good one going forward right here, so keep an eye on that one. And then Amazon right there was ripping along yesterday. Just a little pullback this morning, nothing too crazy. Google's up again and looking really strong. Google looks like it wants to run pretty big. Meta right there, just getting ready. It's sitting on the 20 or the 50 actually. And so yeah, we got to watch that for next week. And Microsoft is pulling back a little bit more. Let it pull back. It might pull back a little if it didn't bounce right off of here, and it didn't, obviously. It's going to have to set up off of these lines, so it might pull back a little bit more as it gets set up right there. So we'll be watching Microsoft into next week, obviously. And Nvidia right here, a little bit of pullback. It says it's up, but I don't know. I guess guess it bouncing off of yesterday's lows, but it is a little bit of pullback. We'll watch that one trying to get set back up off the MACD, and Tesla right here trying to bounce back up, and that looks pretty good to continue up. So there you go with your Mag 7 right there and your indices. Let's take a look. AMC up 2 cents right here. Let's see if this thing gets rolling. I don't know. It has some kind of crazy look. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll see. GameStop actually still not looking bad after the other day. Had good news. Look at this thing getting set up for next week. So maybe next week, they expiration for the AMC is next Friday. It's so interesting how that all works out, to be completely honest with you. And Chewy right here just taking a big dip. Unity right there is up a little bit, but kind of flat, not really doing much. And let's look at Netflix. It's down a little bit right there. And Warner Brothers this morning is down still, so they got to finish that deal up. And PSKY, that Paramount, that's actually up this morning, and we'll see what that wants to do. It's not exactly in a bullish state, but it might bounce up real quick. That's about it right there. And then AVGO and our semiconductors, AVGO is trying to bounce back up. I don't think it's really ready on a Friday right here to get rolling, but obviously next week we can see if they really want to get set up. MU's been a beast. This one probably will run up. You can probably play the dips on that all the time, as we mentioned in the Discord. And TSM right here trying to roll back up a little bit. This one's been really strong. We were early to the party on that. SMCI, this is getting set up. I think you got to look at that one because that's going to get ready to move relatively soon. And then your AMD right here pulling back a little bit as well. So QCOM was looking pretty good. It is pulling back this morning to that trend line. We'll see what it wants to do there. And Snow up a little bit after that pullback yesterday off to that trend line. So there you go with them guys. And then PayPal right here, not looking too bad. This one could start to run. As we enter next week, we'll see what happens with the market reacting. It looks pretty good though, and we'll check out everything as we after we finish up this. But PayPal not looking bad right there. Intel's been looking strong, and look at that thing. It looks like it wants to bounce right back up. Dell's been dipping down, and again, I do think Dell is going to get set up right here. I think that was the bottom yesterday on Dell, so definitely keep an eye on Dell right there. That's for sure. And then IBM was on fire yesterday, as a matter of fact, and that's getting set up to run up even higher. Palantir took a good little dip yesterday, and we'll see if it can bounce back up. What's it doing? It was running up a little bit near pre-market right there. Not looking too bad. I don't know if it's going to get ripping today, but it is trying to get set up, and it does bounce back up after them dips. Sophie right here trying to continue its way up. It does have the 50 above it, and it's hitting that, so a little bit of resistance. And Marin Riot not looking so bad right there, as crypto is going to get set back up and Bitcoin's going to get running again. It looks like I said, I'm watching that to roll off the MACD, clean spark, and it looks like these guys are as well. And BMNR right here, that's just down a little bit. So usually if they look bad, these ones will go down pretty good. You can gauge it sometimes on crypto. And Hood right here, not looking bad. MicroStrat. Oh, that's not MicroStrategy. This is MicroStrategy, just down a little bit. That's getting set up too. And then Coinbase right there is up a little bit this morning. And Bull was looking pretty good yesterday. We'll see if this can get bullish right there. Space, Virgin Galactic up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And then your Boeing trying to curl back up and roll off the MACD, trying to stay in the top right there. And it could run up some more. DJT actually looking pretty good again, rolling up off that MACD. So that's an interesting one. Nike hit the resistance yesterday. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Look at it, Nike. It is hitting that resistance. So maybe it can pop over real quick. I'm not so sure about that, but it did have a good run up. And McDonald's was looking good last night, and that should try to continue to curl up right there. So keep an eye on good old McDonald's. Your Disney right there looking pretty strong. Luis Rodriguez. And then Oxy and ExxonMobil, they're still looking good. And ExxonMobil down a little bit, but it doesn't look bad right there. Here's Chevron right there. That's up as well. So there you go with the market and what we usually look at. Let me see what you guys are looking at over here. This is what the market looks like. Microsoft down, the video AVGO, Tesla, Google all up. Apple's just kind of flat there. Intel's been looking good. And that's your heat map right there. So that is what we have going on this morning. Let's see stock market today. S&P 500 futures edge up ahead of jobs report, and then the dollar yields and stocks rise ahead of payrolls and Wall Street braces for the Supreme Court tariff decision. Like I was saying, the tech investment bubble is going to end. And what comes next may be surprising, the strategist says. And the what the heck does that even say? Does it say copper bottomed? It says, I think. I don't even know what that's. I think it says copper bottomed right there. But anyway, here we go. Let's see. What is gold doing right now? GNUG down a little bit. GLD is up a little bit. That thing was looking good yesterday at the end of the day. Was trying to crawl up. That's an interesting one. So what's NUG doing right there? That's up a penny. So them things are interesting. Barrick Mining's down a penny. And what's silver up to this morning? That is up and looking pretty good right there. So there you go with them guys. And let me see. We were looking at talking about Oklo earlier right there. That is looking really good. I don't know why we weren't playing that. I kept saying that thing looked good. SMR looked really good, and nuclear looked really good right there. And they certainly did. They look like they want to continue their way up. That's for sure. And then these are going to be another one looking good right there. And LEU looking pretty good as well. Look at that bad boy. You were talking about the Centrus Energy the other day. It is looking nice. Bloom Energy is this one. So I'd say the energy sector looking pretty strong right now. And then you have CEG is Constellation Energy. That's a good opportunity because it took a nice dip the other day. I do remember that. How about your Datadog trying to bounce back up? It took a nice little dip yesterday. Google looking good. We do know that. That's looking strong. Kratos was looking good. Kratos Defense right there. That was looking good yesterday. And RCX Lamb Research right here. And look at that thing. That's rolling up there looking real good, Luis Rodriguez. How about your MU right there? And that's not looking bad, of course. And we've been playing that one in the old Discord. ONDS is bounced up this morning into the top still. And you might see these guys have to come down pretty soon, but they're not pulling back just yet. And ASML, that one's always a monster. It's an expensive one, but it blasts off pretty often. And Vistra Corp right here, VST. And that one is a power producer. Look at that thing way up this morning, bouncing up, looking really good right there. Your bread financial holdings is looking really good to roll up into the top some more. And your Madison Square Garden right here looks pretty strong, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. Energy is on fire. You're not kidding. Let's look at that Mimi right here. That's that mint one. And let's see what it wants to do over here. Doge Mama 9, how are you this morning? And let's see me. Oh, it's looking pretty good right there. That's yesterday's date, so I guess it's not really moving. It's just kind of flat there this morning. It's not doing anything for us. It doesn't look like. But that does look good coming off of yesterday. I can say that. I thought that was today's date. It was sitting on the 20 yesterday. That's right. So I don't think it's doing anything just yet, Doge Mama 9. I'm not sure why. It's a penny stock in Hong Kong. Usually it should be running around like a maniac right now. And it's just not doing anything. It's just kind of sitting there flat, as you can see. So we'll see how that opens up. Definitely keep an eye on that thing because it is looking pretty good there, I must say. It has a good look. For MIMI right there. Look at that thing trying to crawl up. Couple green candles looking pretty strong right there. So we'll be watching that one in the morning. I don't know why it's not doing anything yet. Doge Mama 9, that's kind of odd. Area right here looking good. That's a real estate one, AIRE, and that was jumping up this morning. That's curling up and looking pretty good right here. Let me see what that bad boy looks like. That was a good spike up where it gets up to at 59 almost, 58.99. It's at 50 right now. I would say it did spike up this morning. It's a Friday. Just watch for any dips if you want to play it intraday. Just be careful over the weekend with that one, though. So it does have that big spike up this morning. Not huge, but it has a good little spike up and obviously can bounce around. I would say that your 20 is going to have to meet up again. It's getting to be in a good spot, though. Look at it with your trend line. So just keep an eye on it. That's why it bounced up right there. It was getting to be in a good spot. It just hopped up this morning. And just watch for the pullbacks on that and maybe play it intraday right there, Doge Mama 9. But I don't know if it's getting set up. I'd have to look at it next week with the Friday coming. It should be good with the real estate, though, because the housing sector should be looking good. Like everything in there should be good. Home Depot's up a little more. Lowe's was up yesterday. It's looking pretty good there this morning. LDI was up this morning as well. Open Door was up. So you got the housing sector running right there. And speaking of Disneyland, you're really for the market roller coaster. You're ready for the market roller coaster today, Sam. I bet it is going to be a roller coaster, I think. Or maybe it just goes straight up. I don't know. It's not looking too bad, but you can see how flat it kind of is. So I'm not so sure it goes straight up. Like I said, it's going to be an odd one right here. The SPY looking pretty good this morning, but this thing could I mean, that's a nice setup right there off the MACD to get ripping. So I have no idea, guys. I have no idea what the Supreme Court's going to say. I can't even tell off these charts what's going to happen here. You just can't really see anything. You just can see it getting set up bullish, but it could go either way real fast the way it got set up like that. So I'm not exactly sure. It does look bullish to me, to be honest with you. So what did they say? They were going to shoot down the tariffs, and that would make the market bullish, right? Because of the all the tariffs and stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen there with this. This is one of them ones that I'm not exactly sure. But La Rosa Holdings, LRHC, running up there pretty nice this morning, 57%er right there. That looks pretty good. Luis Rodriguez to maybe it'll even continue to cruise up there today. So there you go with that. That's a real estate one. I know we had traded that one before. And OPAD right here is another real estate. I'm familiar with this one. And that did bounce up like 30%. So your real estate ones did jump up pretty big with Trump's news yesterday and Trump's $200 billion mortgage bond purchase directive fueled after hours rally in housing tech stocks. So they went a little crazy right there, but just be careful. And let's see, I know Cracker Barrel making that move right there. I was saying last night, it looks pretty good all of a sudden. And it does look like that 20 is going to crawl up. I was saying that yesterday. I was kind of amazed. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they run it all the way back up. It could be a great opportunity right here, guys. You know that this thing could get cruising now, obviously running up. And we'll see. Maybe they get it back bullish. I don't know. What the heck are they doing here? It wasn't looking good, that's for sure. They did cut a bunch of corporate staff, so maybe that's why it looks pretty good anytime they do stuff like that. You'll get the market to so they're cutting corporate staff because it's not in good shape, but the market bounces. So interesting there when that stuff kind of happens, to be honest with you. Wall Street likes when you cut people, but the company obviously isn't doing so great. So up 1.4% since the last earnings report. Can it continue? So it is up 1.4%. So I mean, the last one had to have been I mean, holy cow, look at it. It went from here to there, and then it went from there to there. So I don't know. I think, yes, any kind of people coming into the restaurant would definitely be an improvement on your next sales reports and your next reports right there. So let's see what's going to happen with Cracker Barrel right here. But yeah, they cut some corporate staff, so maybe that's why it jumped up there. Like I said, Wall Street always likes that. And we'll see what's going on. But yeah, their earnings report was up. Like I said, all you needed to do is bring it like 5 people into the restaurant, it seems like. And your earnings report was going up because it was just going down for a while there. So when the CEO is making crazy decisions because she's a lunatic. But anyway, there's your Cracker Barrel. It does look pretty good. It came out of that dungeon area for sure, and it looks kind of bullish for a quick run up. So there you go, Cam Nap. And it is kind of weird. Why did YouTube put like letters and numbers after everybody's name and stuff? It's kind of bizarre. Like Doge Mama 9 became 999, and I know that one day Michael Anthony's has changed, and Cam Nap. You could tell that it does it. Like, it's pretty weird that it does that kind of thing. Luis Rodriguez just changed his to like Junior right there, so that's cool. And but yeah, it's kind of weird that they just went and just changed everybody's thing and added a bunch of letters and numbers at the end of everybody's names and stuff. Like you didn't already have a screen name or something. So kind of weird. I don't even know what they did, but they did change a bunch of stuff in the interface on YouTube. Anyway, let's see what else is happening here. So that's what we're looking at right there. Microsoft down. Let's see what our SPY and indices are doing again. They're still up your SPY. Like I said, I mean, look at that curling right there. Look, obviously it can move any which way today, but that looks really good. So what do we say? They're going to shoot down the tariffs, the Supreme Court, and that makes the market pop because of the inflation and everything else. So I don't know. Maybe that's what's going to happen here today. Like I said, I just don't understand the whole thing. So I guess I can't really grasp the charts on it, but they're all over the place, too. They do look like they want to run, but anything can happen. Sidious has been nuts lately here. Doge Mama 9. This one's been pretty fire. I don't know if I would chase this. It does look like it might try to curl back up. Obviously, if it curls back up into that top, you're going to get a run back up, but it did bounce off of that resistance pretty hard. And I don't know if it's just going to come up and retest it immediately right there. So just beware of that one right there. And the appointment of aerospace veteran Kel Wendling. I don't know what that name is. And that ignited the 20-day surge right there. When was that? The other day. So that was what made it get cranking right there. That was the 6th. There it is right there. So that was that green candle. So yeah, I would just if it gets curled up in here and this rolls back up off the MACD, you're clear. But obviously, you still got to pay attention to that resistance because it couldn't get through it the last time. So that is what we're looking at right there. And let me see what else is going on over here. Feed right here. That was feeding off the off a popper this morning. Look at that thing. That was bumping up there. Enview Medical or something like that. So interesting right there. And like I said, I think it's going to be all eyes are obviously people are going to be watching this jobs report right here. I don't know when that comes out. Let me take a look. Hold on. Let's see. What did that building? What the heck did he say? Was he non-farm payrolls or something? That's what he was. That's at 8:30 a.m. guys. So in about an hour, a little over an hour, we'll see that come out. So we'll see how the first reaction happens. And then, of course, we're waiting for the Supreme Court to rule on tariffs. So that's going to be a big one right there. And we'll see when that comes out. And it could come out in the morning. Like I said, I don't think they're sitting there debating it right now. I think the decision's already locked in. They're just coming out to read it. I would assume. I don't think they're coming out to figure out what the outcome's going to be. I'd have to think that they know. So anyway, and like I said, it's a Friday afternoon. I would think that it's coming out early so they can go have lunch and go enjoy their day and everything else. So here we are. Let me see. That's the thing about hitting rock bottom. When you get there, there's only one way you can go, and it is up. And that's why I watch for them bottoms, Luis Rodriguez. I've made my life doing that because yeah, they bounce off them bottoms and they usually go up. And I guess it's the same thing with shorting them down. They get in the top, guys, and they can only go so high, and then they have to come back down. So it is it's just the way it works. They're going off the bottoms and off the tops too. And copper, what's up with copper right here? I'm not sure, but let's see what this is doing. Bottom. I don't even know what they're talking about. That's a medical. What the heck is the copper? I can't ever remember. I always bring that up whenever I do copper. Is this one the copper one? That doesn't even look like it bottomed either. But anyway, I'm not sure what copper is. But in this situation, there's very little risk to the downside. I agree, Luis Rodriguez. You can still get some pullback, but obviously you're going to get that bounce back up and you're safer than buying it in the middle of the chart. That's for sure. So that's why I do look for them when they're in the basement down here under this RSI and already beaten down, because the chances of it, like right here, look at it, like how do you play that thing? I mean, you can play it intraday, but you know it's going to bounce off of here. You know it's going to bounce off the top and pop dip down. You know that's going to happen anytime they're in the top like this, guys, and they've run up for a long time. Look what happens. They come down, then they get to the bottom and they run back up, and then they hang out there when they're in the middle. So they're hard because that's their setup period, and then you see them get ready. So there you go, a little charting right there for everybody. That's what the market looks like this morning. So we'll see what's happening here with our jobs report in an hour, and of course our Supreme Court ruling today. So that is what we have in for Friday. And Nasdaq and small caps lead pre-market gains as Meta's nuclear power deals spark energy and AI rally ahead of key jobs data. So Meta's nuclear power deal. What did they even do, Meta? I don't even. It's not even up. I'm not even sure. Was it? I have no idea. Is it a different Meta? Maybe I have no idea. But that's that. If that's fueling everything, I don't even get it. But Meta strikes 20-year deals to buy power from three Vistra nuclear plants and partners with Terra Power and Oklo on a small modular reactors. So something they're just all right. They're in the nuclear. How's that, Meta? So there you go. And that's why nuclear is flying today. We expect Meta to get set back up as well. And that's what's going on this morning. So we'll be watching our Supreme Court decision. And of course, we'll be watching our jobs report. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Shoot me a DM on X. And thank you for tuning in. Doge Mama 9 and Cam Nap right there. Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel. Of course, Sam enjoying the day today. And Robin driving to work. And Joseph Levy and everybody else hanging out. And we're thinking about Asian Jolie. Hopefully everything's okay with her. And hopefully she messages back soon. And we hear from her before the weekend's over. So you guys enjoy your Friday. You know what I say, trade smart and lock in those profits, especially today. Supreme Court, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. You never know how the market's going to react. It looks good this morning. And so we'll take it for that, but you just never know what's going to happen as the day moves on. So we'll be on in the Discord. You guys know that. Be sure to follow along on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Hit the like button on your way out of here. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. Not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And like I said, trade smart, lock in those profits. Goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.